Welcome everybody. Making a quick video today. I got a quick question for you. You ever went all the way out to the boat ramp, got out there, got everything set up, put it in the water, you want to get going, you pull that cord out and it breaks off? Well, that happened to me, and today I am going to teach you how to fix it. So there's a couple things, but it's all pretty simple. Go ahead and start off by the list of tools and materials that you'll need, and in the process of that I will introduce you to my new cameraman. The wife isn't around, she's getting ready for Thanksgiving, so I'd like to introduce you to Bart the cart. He works pretty good so far. So let's get into the materials that we need. All right, so it's pretty simple here. Just need flathead screwdriver, Phillips, a 10-inch socket, an 8-inch socket, a pair of gloves if you don't want to get your hands dirty, and my new starter cord. I just picked this up from Lowe's. There was two different ones. One was for like weed eaters, and this one says you could use it for an outboard. So just out of quick glance, it's a little thinner rope than what I previously had, so we'll see if that makes a difference, but I don't think it will, and we'll get into it. Yeah, so that's Bart the cart. Stephen O'Toole, the step stool, didn't work out. All right, so to get started, that's pretty simple. I have a 2004 Mercury, 25 horsepower, 2-stroke. And on the back right here is just a lever that you pull down, and it releases the cowl here. And just set this to the side. You won't need that. And we're gonna start off by, I guess I could show you. Might make more sense. So it's pretty simple. When you break your cord off, the rest of the line got sucked up in there and spun around. And it doesn't take very much. You're gonna have to undo these 2 screws here. This releases this whole mechanism up top from your fuel filter. Those 2 screws there, that's where your 8mm socket comes into play. In your 10mm socket, you got 3 of these. You got one here, one on the back, and one on the other side right there. And that should let it loose. Actually, one thing, you gotta pop this this bar out right here. Go ahead and show you that while we're here. And that just releases it from here. That's to prevent you from starting it in gear. So once you're in gear, that moves this out the way so you can start your engine. So you pull that off, and we'll start by taking off these 2 screws right here. Y'all back up here with Bart. He's been doing a pretty good job. A little bit better than my shaky hands right there. Right. So you can see, I'm gonna go ahead and start it from there. Guess I don't need that extension on that side. Got the first one, and the nuts in the bottom of the socket. We're going to set those to the side. Now for the other side. All right. Now that you got all those bolts right there, this bracket will come out. This is easy like that. And now you can separate your fuel filter from this housing right here. All right. So on this next step, we're going to be taking off those 10mm bolts. All 3 of them. It's always good to know how to do these type of things, because I'm sure it'll cost you a pretty penny at Bass Pro or wherever you take your boat to get it fixed on. And it's pretty simple. All you need is a handful of tools, a little bit of know-how, and the willing to do it. Get this last bolt over here, and we should be good to go to take this off and repair the problem. All right. Now with this last bolt taken off on this other side, should be really simple. Comes right off. Everything's right in there. You can see the rope that broke is right here. And I'm gonna show you how to take it all apart and put on your new rope. All right, Bart the cart, follow me. All right, for this next step, now that we're all set up, is pretty simple. What I like to do, because this thing, you know, you're supposed to use it to be able to start your motor. So what you need to do is open this lever up all the way so you can actually pull all your string out to the end. And what I like to do is I hold it right there for just a second with my hand. If I point to it, my hand, and I shove a flathead screwdriver just into the side right here so it stops spinning. All right, and that gives you access to your string right here at the beginning, where it's supposed to be at. I'm just gonna pull out my pocket knife. All right, get a better grip on it, give it a nice cut. All right, since my screwdriver fell out, I'll just reposition it. Right here for right now. And after you get your line cut, I like to put in this flathead screwdriver right on the side right here. Get it all lined back up. Just to jam it in there so it doesn't spin around on you. And I get my flathead screwdriver. And there's a knot in there. I'm just gonna pry that up so we can pull this through. Doesn't take much. Pull it out just like that. And now we're ready to install the new rope, the new starter cord. And that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna open up this box real quick. And what we are going to do now is wind this bad boy all the way up as far as we can. All right, now we're ready to get this thing all wound up and insert our string through there. So what you want to do is you want it to take it counterclockwise to wind this thing up. Just spin it around. Just got to make sure to keep this tab right here open and free. It's probably a way to hold it up. I'm gonna get it nice and wound up right here. All right, we're at the end of its limits right there. So I'm gonna bring it back to where this hole right here, yep, right there, is lined up with where your pull cord comes from. So I'm gonna put it back in its place right there. Shove the screwdriver back in it to hold it there. Get your new string, wind it through that hole, and there's another hole inside that flywheel there. Got it in there. And once you got it in there, use your flathead. Get it out of that hole. As you're feeding it some more line, you can grab it. And then all you need is a simple overhand knot. So just one and done. Right there. Have a little tag in, it's all right. If you wanted to burn it so it doesn't fray. But I think it's gonna be fine just like that. I'll put that thing back down in there. Yep, doesn't snag on anything. And now you're ready to go. The next thing you got to do is hold on tight to that wheel and release your screwdriver that you had pried in there. Hold on to your string so it don't go crazy, and just let it pull it back in there. And then we're gonna see where it stops when we undo it. So you start to see where you need to put your handle at. You need it tied up here. When you pull on it, it comes back. And if you want a little bit more faster kickback, you can come up on it a little bit further. You got some rope to play with, but not a whole lot. So figure out, just hold it in this hand, act like you got the handle in it. Put it to where you feel like it's in a good position, where you're not going to run out of string. Right there, it seems good to me. So what I'm going to do is shove this screwdriver back in there, hold it in place for me, and this spot right here is where I'm going to put my handy dandy handle. All right. So I feel like that's a good spot. I'm gonna double check because it doesn't hurt to check again. Seems pretty good to me. All right, so we're gonna pull it back out just a touch. Shove the screwdriver in it so it'll stay in place. And that's where I'm gonna tie the knot at. So I'm going to go back a couple inches, I'd say 2 inches. Oh, you can't see anything. 2 inches further than where I wanted it, and I'm going to cut off the rest of the line. And that's pretty important, because if it's not where you want it and you cut it too short, it's too late. You'll be going to at least go buy some more rope. All right, so there's my tag in. Put that away to the side. All right, once you figured out exactly where you want your handle, we already tested it out. This is where I wanted it. Just keep your tag end loose just like this, and I'll show you why. Don't be like me and make a mistake and forget that your handle has to go through the fuel filter housing. So you just get it where you want it. Pull your wedge, your screwdriver out of there. You got a little bit of extra line now. And let's go take Bart over with us to the outboard. We should be back there. All right. Thank you, Bart. You're a kind gentleman. All right. So now it's time to put it all back together. So grab your assembly here. Put it back on just like we did before. Set it in place. I lost my string. No worries. We'll just feed it back through. And then once we get it set it on, right back on top. You're gonna have to hold your line. Pull that cord through there. You may have to move this handle so you can give yourself some more slack. All right, and now we're gonna put our handle on. It's gonna be a little hard to see, but simple overhand knot, and we'll be good to go. Thread that bad boy back through there. Simple overhand knot. And then we're just gonna burn that in. All right, so we're just gonna burn that little end down. It'll go a long ways. Burn it down, pack it in there, put your cap on, and we're ready to start putting in the bolts. Get it all lined up. All you need now is your 10mm bolts and your 10mm socket. Just get them started by hand. Get it all lined up first. There we go, we got that one going. Let's get our other one on the far end going. All right, third one. Put it in right here in the back. You don't need to over tighten it. You ain't got to show this outboard how strong you are. Just get it nice and tight. That way they ain't gonna back loose when you're going down the river. That'd be bad. All right, make sure we're all good and snug. And now we're going to move on to the 8mm to attach your fuel filter housing back on, which is pretty simple. All you need is the 8mm and that 8mm and your Phillips head screwdriver. All right, and now we're going to put the fuel filter assembly back together. It is the two 8mm screws and bolts, or bolts and nuts, excuse me. And we can't forget about this piece that came off with it. So I'm gonna put that in there now. I'm gonna get that situated. You gotta hold it up there all at once and get your bolt started. And grab your nut, start it by hand. Make sure not to drop it, because it is tiny. And it is hard to find it in the bottom of this thing. Don't ask me how I know. All right, so we got the first one. Go over to the other side. Should hold up in place now. Thread that one through there. Get it started with your hand also. All right, now that that bracket's installed and the bolts and nuts are installed, I'm gonna grab our 8mm socket and our Phillips head screwdriver. I'm gonna go around from this side so you can see. We're working on these two screws right here. Socket underneath. Make sure we're going in the right direction here. There we go. Should be good to go now. Put it right on top of that. And just like before, just get it snug tight. Don't worry about giving it all your might. Same thing to the other side. All right. Now that we put every nut and bolt back together like we found it, should be good to go to give it a start. I'm excited to get back out on the water. That was a hindrance, but an easy fix. And I'll show you a video of it starting. Don't forget to put your hood back on. Over the front first. Make sure it's nice and seated on there. Clamp her back down. Should be good to go. All right. Now let me go turn on the water and we'll see if she works properly. Now that we got the new pull cord, starter cord. All right, now let me go turn on the water after we installed our new starter cord right here and see how it goes. All right, now that we turn on the water, gonna let you know I got a problem with my choke right here. Don't know exactly what it is just yet, but it's she's definitely not a one pull kind of girl. When you first start her, she's more like 25 pulls. I hate that part, but after I get it going that first time, every time after that's one pull. So let's see what she'll do. Told you, a little better than 25. like everything worked out just fine. All right, she seems like she works pretty good. And just to prove to you, every time after you pull it in 25 times, she'll pull right up. Just has to do with that choke. All right, guys, got a little wet. Happy I got it done. Hopefully that helped y'all out. If you need some help down the road, or maybe you're looking for it now. And if you think that was helpful for you and you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing. And I'll put out some more videos. I got a 9.9 Mercury 4-stroke. This one's a 2-stroke. We need some maintenance on that one. So if you would like to see a video like that in the future, just let me know. Thanks for watching. This is Catfish Cowboy, tuning out.